Hey Archika,
Hi
and
Ashima, how are you?
I am good and Gaurav is already here and I wanted to answer. Arey, hamara session is 21 minutes. Archika, you talk to Gaurav, let me come back and talk to Anand.
I think it will get increased slowly. Hi Gaurav, how are you? You can come up on panel.
Are you not talking to Gaurav? Gaurav, hey.
I don't have option of speaker. Wait,
Oh,
I
it
think
will come. It will come in two
it will
minutes.
come.
Archika,
Yeah, 2 minutes. Okay, so we'll get that option slowly, slowly, slowly. We are getting used to of this app. We are getting used to of a lot of things. I think it's a kind of exploration, how we explore things, how we understand.
Archika,
So we should
I
able to.
wanted to talk to Gaurav for yesterday's
Yeah,
episode.
please
Gaurav,
do, please do.
yeah, Gaurav, you were talking about that ant thing. When you talk about that particular thing, that means there was something happening in your life which was making you very emotional and which was making you feel very hurt. एंड व्हेन सच थिंग्स हैपन नो गौरव, उस टाइम पे हम इतने ज्यादा सेंसिटिव हो जाते हैं कि हमें लगता है कि हम किसी और को हर्ट ना कर दे. That's the reason that we would be trying to be as gentle and as emotional and as sensitive about the problems of others. So it is related to our own side. Sometimes होता है ना, अच्छा यार अब ये मैंने गलत जानबूझ के नहीं किया, that is a different thing. But when you are suffering yourself, when there is something which is happening in your life, that's the time, Gaurav, when you get very sensitive about others also. Does that make sense to you, Gaurav?
Yes, ma'am.
हम्म. So हम श्लोक पे जा रहे हैं अभी वापस से, अर्चिका.
Okay, today I'm saying it, okay?
हाँ.
Good
अच्छा गलती
afternoon,
हो
ma'am.
गुड आफ्टरनून गलती हो तो प्लीज एक्सक्यूज मी हाँ सॉरी इन एडवांस उद्रेत आत्मना आत्मनम न आत्मनम अवसादयेत आत्मनो हि आत्मना बंधुर आत्मेव रिपु आत्मना
It's good, good, good. Good
थैंक यू
start, but need to be better. अभी सुनो
या
और ध्यान से.
हम्म
उदरेत आत्मना आत्मानम न
ओके या
आत्मानम अवसादियेत. मतलब उठाओ खुद से खुद को, न खुद को गिराओ खुद से. आत्मेव ही आत्मनो बंधुर आत्मेव रिपुरात्मनः. आत्मेव मीन्स खुद ही. आप खुद ही अपने बंधु हो यानी दोस्त हो. एंड आत्मेव रिपुर आत्मनः, आप खुद ही अपने सबसे बड़े दुश्मन हो. तो यू हैव टू डिसाइड whether you want to be the biggest enemy of yourself or you want to upgrade yourself. So this shalok I have memorized, like मैं याद कर रही हूँ इसको बार बार. Thanks Anand. Anand, why don't you join in and try this? It will be wonderful because it's a very beautiful shalok which I have picked up and it has really influenced me and I keep repeating it and I'm learning it. Anand, let me invite you if you could come in, and thank you very much for fixing the time problem. I will talk to you on this. Gaurav, would you want to
Actually,
share?
Ashima, I don't remember this, but I know as I belong to Arya Samaj and my father was connected to it. So in Yagya, we used to recite a lot of mantras. So I remember from there. And one of
Hmm.
my favorite was Om Vishwani Dev Savitar Duritani Parasuva Yad Bhadram Tan Suha. So
You'll have
that
to explain
means
it to us.
या इसका मतलब था कि जो हमारे दुर्गुण है या हमारे दुख है उनको आप दूर कीजिए हमारे लिए और जो अच्छी भावनाएं हैं अच्छे कर्म है अच्छा स्वभाव है वो आप हमें दीजिए
That is what we are asking God, है ना? Or
या
whatever the deities or whatever powers we are invoking.
या सो ऐसे ही उसका जो लास्ट जब यज्ञ खत्म होता है तो एक शांति पाठ भी होता है एंड आई आई डोंट रिमेम्बर प्रॉपरली थोड़ा थोड़ा ऐसे ब्रेक में याद है क्योंकि काफी साल हो गए हैं इट्स अ लॉन्ग
Hmm.
टाइम आई हैव बीन पार्ट ऑफ दिस यज्ञ ऑन रेगुलर बेसिस आई यूज्ड टू इन माय चाइल्डहुड
Hmm.
so but I used to enjoy that
Oh,
you know
nice.
एक एक फ्लो होता है इसका बोलने का ना, आर्य समाज के उसमें जिस तरह से बोलते हैं, तो
Absolutely.
एक फ्लो और एक तरह का एक पर्टिकुलर वे होता है। एंड
Hmm.
वी डू इट। तो तुम जिस श्लोक बोल रही हो तो मुझे एकदम से वो याद आया।
Wow, that's wonderful. Thanks a lot. I have written Anand spellings wrong. Anand, I'm so sorry. Pardon me. Let me just correct it. So, Gaurav, you understand our own emotions, they are reflecting in whatever we are doing and whatever we are out to do. And we have Harshit also. Harshit Zarpura. I think he's come here for the first time. I've not seen him earlier. So, Harshit, how are you doing, dear? Do you want to say something?
Hi, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Oh, you have already been here for 100 circles, Harshit.
I
So, but
have
here,
changed.
yeah.
I've changed my name exactly. I previously
Same
I
Harshit. You
it
are the same
is.
Harshit. Okay, he's
All
same Harshit.
right. Okay, Harshit, so you want to try your hands at the shalok? Because it is a shalok which basically talks of you. It is talking about your connection with yourself. And if you can, repeat it, if you can understand it, it'll make a bigger sense. And I'm
So
going to add one more today.
you want me to recite this shlok, ma'am?
Yeah, recite.
Recite.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
उद्धरेद आत्मनात्मानं नात्मानं अवसादयेत् आत्मैव
He, he,
हीतमनो
mm,
बुद्धर
Bandur
आत्मैव रिपुरात्म
Atmanaha. Very good, very good. That's a very good start. What you said and the way you said it is beautiful. Um, Basically, I have been talking about this. So let's quickly move on to today's superficial and real we are all, have you seen of people who say, अरे आज मैं बहुत ज़्यादा स्ट्रेस हो गया था या स्ट्रेस हो गई थी तो आई वेंट विंडो शॉपिंग और आई वेंट ऑन टू शॉपिंग और आई वॉज डूइंग सोशल मीडिया सर्फिंग so much because I did not know what else to do. I was feeling so stressed. So I went on to doing all that surfing of the social media, and I was not trying to even think कि मुझे क्या चाहिए. बस मेरे को सोशल मीडिया पे जो वीडियो आ रहे थे बस रैंडम उसको देखते चले जा रही थी या चले जा रहा था. और you know it was so this thing, that for some time I could really push myself away from whatever I was thinking. So basically, when I'm talking of all this, these are the superficial ways of connecting and taking care of yourself. So that is what is important to understand. What are the superficial self care approaches and what is the real self care approaches? Self care, we all understand, it means taking care of yourself. And as we keep talking of it, that is really important to take care of yourself, to have a regime or a routine of connecting to yourself. But today we are talking about the superficial and the real self care. I'll just quickly say this. Superficial self care approaches refer to practices that provide temporary relief or satisfaction without addressing the deeper needs of promoting genuine well being. And it is very important to recognize how we are going on to those superficial approaches and how they are giving us short term gratification, but they often fail to address the stress, the genuine concern, and those emotional problems which we are facing. Does that make sense, Archika?
Of course it does. So self-care, first we always need to understand what self-care means, Ashima. Self-care हम किसको कह रहे हैं? And then we have areas कि where we are looking for self-care, which area we are covering. So we can have many areas. If I start dividing it, so it can be physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, intellectual, environmental, financial, social, professional, psychological, and I can go on if I do a little
Hmm.
bit, I try and stress my brain a little more, then I can take out some more. But right now,
Hmm.
what I'm getting all these are the areas where we generally and we actually emphasize to do this self-care thing. So now,
Hmm.
as today's topic is, there a superficial self-care or a real?
Hmm.
So what is superficial and what is real? Real, as we all know, it's like a deep conditioning from the and the root causes we are finding, and we are treating that, and we are getting good results from there, and they are long lasting.
Hmm.
Then
Hmm.
superficial is what?
Hmm.
Superficial, I'll say, if you think it's a good word, it's like quick fix.
Hmm.
We are looking for a quick fix, and it's a kind of
It's
defense mechanism.
right,
डिफेंस
absolutely.
मैकेनिज्म जो हमारे साइकोलॉजिकली होते हैं, वी हैव 8 to 9 डिफेंस मैकेनिज्म which
Hmm.
gets activate without even knowing.
Hmm.
जो हमारा सबकॉन्शियस माइंड है वो उसमें डिफेंस मैकेनिज्म काम करते हैं, and whenever some situation occurs or some incident happen, they get activated without our knowledge, and we are doing that, but
Hmm.
we are not aware that this is a defense mechanism working.
Hmm.
That's a kind of the superficial thing what you explained earlier. It's kind of defense mechanism. What do you
Uh,
think?
Absolutely. You know what we will have to do? We'll have to do one session of defense mechanisms, because when we
Yeah.
talk about defense mechanisms, we involve in so many of them, and people need to understand. Because the issue is that people really genuinely, most of the people genuinely want to understand where things are not right, how they can make things right, and what are the ways. And for that, it is very important to understand your core values, your defense mechanisms. So we would be coming up with sessions on making people understand their core values and what are the defense mechanisms, and relate to their own defense mechanisms. But coming back to the superficial ways of self-care, as we are talking of it, that superficial means something which is not real, which is just a short time thing, and then your real problem with, it will crop up again, it will start disturbing you again. And why we say superficial? Because it is not going to give you the complete solution. So I would quickly run you through all some of the common superficial care problems. Like, for example, one of the thing is engaging in impulsive shopping. You will go on doing shopping, and you will buy things here and there just for the heck of it, and you will go out, you look at shops, and it is mindless. Why is it mindless? Because while you're doing shopping for that particular time, you are able to set your mind free from whatever things are worrying you. But this is just a coping mechanism, and it will lead you to a financial strain, and later you may realize, oh my god, why am I even spending this kind of money? And it, as my emotional problem is still there. And the second one is, which is everybody today is involving in, indulging in, which is called mindless social media scrolling. You're just scrolling videos, and you don't know what you're looking for, why you're looking. You're just doing it because you don't want to think of the issue or the emotional problem which is straining you, or which is draining you out of your emotional things. So this is also temporary, we all know, because this will make you feeling more low. You look at people looking so beautiful, so pretty, doing so many things, and then you'll be like, oh my god, why I am not doing anything. So there'll be a complete disconnection. And then we talk about overindulgence and treat, and we know binging. We all talk about binging. बैठ के खा रहे हैं, खाते जा रहे हैं, लाओ दे दो, खाना दे दो. I hope everybody will understand this is one of the defense mechanisms, and a lot of people binge mindlessly. Somebody wants to say something? Did somebody unmute?
Excuse
I
me, ma'am.
Yes, you're saying something, Harshit?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I want to ask one thing along with
Go
my
on.
experience. Uh, Previous year, I was in Mumbai in Thane.
Hmm.
My sister lives there. I saw there that people in the local train, they wear earphones all the time while
They what?
traveling. Earphones, earbuds,
Okay, okay.
listening to something,
Hmm.
and means I provoked to thought that why people are means मतलब लोग थोड़ा फ्री टाइम क्यों नहीं बिताते हैं, मतलब अपने साथ हमेशा कान में ईयरफोन लगा है या फिर कुछ
Hmm.
रील्स देख रहे हैं, तो
Hmm.
ऐसा क्यों हो गया है? मतलब मीन्स मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि दे वांट टू गेट रिड अवे फ्रॉम समथिंग, और मीन्स वो
Hmm.
क्या रिलैक्स, अपने आप को रिलैक्स करने के लिए कर रहे हैं कि किसी चीज से भागने के लिए कर रहे हैं?
ये आपके मन में थॉट आता था हर्षित?
ऐसा मुझे लगता था कि या तो इनने अपनी आदत बना ली है ऐसा करना।
हाँ, ओके।
सो मतलब मैं जानना चाहता हूँ कि व्हाट इज द साइकोलॉजी, व्हाट व्हाट मेक्स देम टू डू दिस। क्या सभी लोग
राइट।
ऐसा कर रहे हैं तो ऐसा करना चाहिए? जब ईयरफोन्स नहीं थे, मोबाइल नहीं थे, तो भी तो लोग एक दूसरे से बात करते थे।
Hmm.
सो कैन यू हेल्प मी टू डिकोड दिस फ्रॉम द
Absolutely.
साइकोलॉजिकल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू?
Suraj, right? This is tech addiction, I think. Harshit, I think this is a very good question which Harshit has brought up, and everybody, like Suraj, quickly could write something down. Everybody else, if you want to speak something before we go on to giving certain ideologies to it, and then we're reaching on to a consensus, you know. So, Suraj is sure it is an addiction, and I hope all of you think it is an addiction because, as Harshit says, that sometimes it becomes a mechanical way. हमें पता भी नहीं होता है, हम चलते चलते ही फोन देख रहे हैं, बैठे बैठे और कुछ नहीं, गाने सुन रहे हैं, स्क्रॉलिंग या थिंग. Absolutely, somewhere the feeling that the connect with your own self is missing, as Harshit could feel, most of the time when you look at people and they are looking at those phones and they are not even able to enjoy what is happening around them. It is kind of a defense mechanism where you don't want to involve with the things or the people outside because you are wanting to be into that. Now this can be a defense mechanism one, and this can be a very mechanical ritualistic way which has become with a lot of people today, right? ट्रेन में भागते भागते हर्षित, इफ यू हैव सीन पीपल गेटिंग इनटू द ट्रेन, यू मस्ट हैव अंडरस्टूड देयर कि भाई कैसे भाग भाग के ट्रेन में चढ़ना भी बहुत आर्ट है वहां पर लोकल ट्रेन में.
Yes, ma'am.
इट इज
Even
एन
if you
आर्ट.
are not able to, people behind you help you to get into the train. They just throw you
Can
inside
I
and they just
add
throw
up
you
to it,
outside.
Ashima?
हाँ.
Okay, I would like to add up to it.
Achika, just a second. Mehtab Anjum was saying hi, so I just said hi, and she
Sure,
or
sure.
he has left the platform. So we would want him or her to come back, no, to understand what he or she wants to say. And now, Achika, you can say what you want to say.
Yeah, so first of all, Harshit, your concern is very genuine, and that means you are a good observer. You were observing things around, in surrounding, and you were paying attention. So that is first thing come up about you. Another thing here, Harshit, we cannot generalize any statement for on universal basis. अगर सब लोग अपने हेडफोन लगाकर सुन रहे हैं तो सब लोग एक ही चीज की वजह से सुन रहे हैं, सब लोगों का एक ही माइंड सेट है या फिर स्टेट ऑफ माइंड सेम है, सो नो वी कैन नॉट से दिस. Maybe environment is changing nowadays and people getting judgmental. Earlier we did not have these technologies and these gadgets and to get indulged with, but nowadays we do have options. Now we are actually getting judgmental, we have a lot of insecurities, we are hesitating because nowadays even we are not involved in our neighborhood. पहले हमारे नेबर्स कौन है, हमारे नेबर्स में जो रहते हैं उनके बच्चे कौन हैं, उनको उनको तो कम पहचानते थे कि बच्चे कौन है, बच्चों के बच्चे कौन है. वी यूज टू नो. Okay. And they used to drop in. Okay, we are going there, so please take care of our kids. Can you? Okay. Nowadays we are not aware of that. So जो अपनी अपनी दुनिया में हम लोग खोते जा रहे हैं, वहां पे एक इनसिक्योरिटी आ रही है विच वी आर नॉट अवेयर ऑफ मेंटली कि इनसिक्योरिटी है. अगर हम जनरली किसी से पूछने लगे तो दे लाइक नहीं, मेरे को ऐसी कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. एक्चुअली नहीं है, बिकॉज क्योंकि ये हम अपने नेचर से हम लोग ये सीखते जा रहे हैं, ये हमारी माइंड की कंडीशनिंग होती जा रही है कि अच्छा वो ये कर रहा है, मुझे क्या करना. एंड अनदर थिंग इज जो एनवायरमेंट में चेंजेस आ रहे हैं, लाइक वेरी कॉमन थिंग, अगर रोड पे एक्सीडेंट हो जाता है, आप किसी की हेल्प करने के लिए रुकने से पहले बहुत बार सोचते हो, समटाइम्स कर भी देते हो, बट देन यू वांट टू जस्ट रन अवे कि अच्छा हेल्प कर दिया, उठा दिया भाई, ठीक है, ओके फाइन, इससे पहले पुलिस आ जाए, कुछ और हो, आगे आगे हो. because a lot of things are happening and everybody is aware of. Nobody wants
I
to
think
get
we are
into it.
digressing from what we are talking here. Archika, what you're
No,
saying makes sense.
that is what I'm coming to the point. That is why everybody wants to be in their own world. अब आप ट्रेन में जा रहे हो, हेडफोन नहीं लगा रहे हो और साथ वाले से बात करने लगे हो, और क्या चल रहा है भाई, रोज जाते हो क्या इस ट्रेन से, एंड वो सीधा आपको आंसर दे, तुम्हें क्या लेना देना है, कोई काम नहीं है क्या? हाउ डू यू फील? नेक्स्ट टाइम आप हिम्मत ही नहीं करोगे कि आप पूछो किसी से। मे बी सेकेंड टाइम आप किसी से पूछने लगो और तो शायद वो रिप्लाई करे कि हाँ जाता हूँ, ये प्रॉब्लम है, नहीं। बट इफ सम टाइम समवेयर एंड somebody gives you some kind of answer like this, very straightforward, very rude, then second time like कि पड़ी क्या थी मुझे यार पूछने की, इट्स ओके मैं अपना
Hmm.
फोन ही देख लेता।
So what
So yeah,
Archika is trying to say is that somewhere we are trying, हमारे दायरे छोटे होते जा रहे हैं. Our patience levels is wearing out. We are not. We want to. It's not that we don't want to. And the studies are showing that if people are with friends and family, they are spending time with them, they are having good experiences, they are having good memories, the lives are getting better, because then you will be de-stressed. But when you don't have anybody to talk to, when you don't have people to spend time with, when you don't know where to go, when you have free time, when you can't connect with people, that's the time you're trying to resort to the defense mechanisms like the social media or the phones. And yes, you've become very mechanical. Let's cheer to
so
Tanya. Tanya,
Harshit,
you've just
what do you
joined in.
feel? Harshit, what do you feel? Do you
Can we hear
feel?
to Tanya Archika 1 minute? And then we'll come back to you and Harshit. She's just joined in. Let's see if she has to say. She's just joined in. We'll just understand if what brings her here. And I think she's come here for the very first time. Tanya, and this is your second circle, dear.
Yes, this is my first time I'm joining on this app.
Okay, great, great, great. So, here we are discussing about the superficial ways of self-care. When we are in a stress or when we are having a lot of emotional upheaval, instead of addressing the real problems, we will try to digress and divert instead of, addressing the issues. Do you think that is what most of us do? So, so what do you do, dear?
On the situation,
Oh, Tanya has. I think she. I don't know what happened to her network. If she comes back, we'll take her. Achika. Has she come back? No. Achika, go on. You were asking Harshit a question.
No, I was not asking question. I was just trying to understand that mm, were I able to answer you to some extent, if not
Ma'am,
completely.
I want to add one thing.
Yeah.
Because the topic of the day is superficial versus real, so this thought came to my mind that
Hmm.
people in the corporate life means generally complain about their means working and when their office hours are over and they travel to commute to their home, they generally wear earphones. They like to remain in their self. They generally don't talk to other people. uh, so I thought that this is a superficial way of keeping themselves happy or means like that. So that's why I put forward this thought.
The same thing I told you, Harshit, ki without talking to somebody, without understanding the facts, without getting complete history or something, we cannot generalize any statement about anybody, and we should not, you
But
know.
we can generalize to the fact that we are losing connections. We have become very afraid of connecting with people. Our own self identities are getting crushed under the idea of independence. And the very idea that we don't want to remain that small child we are. And when we feel depressed or we feel embarrassed or when we feel that people are judging us and when we feel we can't openly talk to the people, that's the time we get on to the superficial ways. Because when you talk about it, Harshit, that people are mostly not interact. For example, if there are five people in a cab, let's say, as Harshit brought in the corporate example, Archika, there are five people in a cab and they're all going together, and they are all listening to the music on the phones. Why is it happening? Why can't one of them get up and say, hey guys, phone pe to sara din rehte ho, why can't we all chat and have some good time together when we are in the cab? you know that that feeling, that connection somewhere is going missing, and that's the reason a lot of problems are propping up. When you talk to the youngsters of today, when they're not able to connect, you talk about peer pressure, right? Now peer pressure starts in the schools, and when the peer pressure starts, what happens? That's the time when you're growing up, your identity formation is happening, your rationalization is not there, but you want to be on the center stage because you are wanting to have an identity of yourself. So far you were under the umbrella of your parents, but now suddenly those hormonal changes which are happening in your body are making you feel you are somebody. That's the time when a lot of pressure is coming from each corner. Your parents, your peers, your teachers, and your peers are putting pressures on. Oh, if you don't know this, this is so easy. Oh, you don't have a girlfriend. Oh, you don't have a boyfriend. Oh, this is so LS. So much is happening that we start misjudging everything, and we start getting afraid of asking questions. And I think that's where the challenge of us as humanity lies. We first have to understand not to get afraid of anything. Why? Because if we are afraid, we'll not be able to grow, because we'll not be able to ask and we'll not be able to question. If somebody tells me, like we were doing this role play yesterday, I hope everybody who was here yesterday remembers, um, is that we all are facing people who would try to put us down, who would try to tell us things, who would try to, and when they are trying to tell us, Acha, you're wearing these clothes. My God, these don't look good on you. Why are you wearing them? They are actually not trying to talk to us. That is their own fear about their own selves somewhere inside, because they have learned, their core belief system tells them that if you criticize others, nobody would look at you, because people would be just busy trying to be defensive, give their own aspects of why they are doing what. So it's kind of a loop, guys. We are all caught in a loop. So when we talk about superficial versus real, the real world, where is the real world? Where is the real self? Where is the real care? That is the question. Am I making sense to all of you? And there comes back Tanya. But I think she missed what we were talking about here. So we'll just, Uma Shankar, it's nice to have you here. Yesterday we were missing you. Go on, Tanya.
I'm so sorry. Actually, my net is not working properly, so I left the meeting. I'm so sorry for that.
No problem.
Actually, as I observed, like you are talking about the superficial versus real self-care on topic.
Yeah. Real self care, self care, superficial connections, anything. So, as you said yes to something, so we were asking you, what about you? Where do you feel things are not right?
Actually, as per my observation, I feel that on the daily basis, mental health and emotional health, and physical and environmental health is most important for the self-care and the social sides as well. We need to stay connected with other peoples, and we should need to focus on positivity and gratitude. And also, we set the goals as per our priorities, and we should need to maintain some routines on the daily basis, like eat healthy foods for self-care, like make a sleep on the priority basis, doing some other activities like, for example, exercise, gym, and walking and all.
Archika, would you want to talk to Tanya? Uma Shankar says, today I am a situation where I'll be a listener. Okay, so we'll listen to him. Uh, Tanya is saying, whatever you said, Tanya, was beautiful. It is very important to connect and, to do whatever you talked about self care made sense. But when you, I don't know if you said connect with social media or connect with people. Now, everybody, is there a difference between connecting with people and connecting with people on social media? Connecting with people in and connecting with people on social media. Do you think there is a difference? And do you think when we are talking here, we are connecting with each other in real time? Sia says, ma'am, can you please explain real self care and is it mental, emotional, or no? Sia, we just spoke about superficial. Superficial is ki if there is a problem, there is a tension, there is a stress in my mind. Instead of addressing that issue and saying, okay, I have a problem. So as we keep talking about acknowledge, accept and act. अगर मेरे पास एक प्रॉब्लम है, इंस्टेड ऑफ एक्नॉलेजिंग हाँ यार कुछ टेंशन हो रही है, देर इज सम स्ट्रेस, देर इज समथिंग विच इज डिस्टर्बिंग मी, आई नीड टू एड्रेस इट, आई नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड, I need to first of all understand with myself, yes, there is an issue. Instead of doing that, I'll say, chalo, bahut stress ho raha, I'll go shopping today. I go spend money and I do shopping and I come back, but that stress or that tension is still there. I go, acha, aaj bahut sara khana khayenge, and then we'll go binging, eating this, eating that, becoming a couch potato kind of a thing and watching social media or some movies random, but that problem is still staying. So when you talk about superficial problems, superficial ways of self-care, it means you are indulging and overindulging into things which are trying to, which are momentary, which are not for real. Now, for example, if I say, Archika, mujhe batana, am I doing it right? Archika, do you think I'm doing right? Archika, are you sure I'm doing it right? When you're constantly seeking approval and validation, we all need to understand there is a difference between asking for a feedback and asking for an approval and a validation. You understand? If I constantly, if I don't have a connection with myself, if I can't understand myself, whatever I do would put me into a self doubt situation. I'll be like, क्या मैंने कपड़े ठीक पहने? Am I dressed up right? Right? Am I speaking right? Are people looking at me? Oh my God, people are looking at me. Why are they looking at me? And then I'll say, Archika, why are people looking at me? Am I looking really bad? And we would be constantly asking for a validation from people. And then you would be just watching, you're just playing games for any reason, but you're not addressing the real problem. So, what do you think? All these binging and all, these are all superficial ways. Are we trying to escape reality? Is there a way of understanding how to connect with reality? When we overindulge into, there is a word called indulge and the other one is overindulge. Like I just said, you ask for a feedback or you ask for a approval or a validation all the time. When you're asking for a feedback, I hope everybody understands what is the meaning. What is the meaning of feedback, guys? ये सन्नाटा क्यों है भाई?
Ma'am, I think feedback means if I want to know where I'm wrong, I want some suggestion. But I don't like asking for suggestions to anyone. I prefer to. Sometimes we at the moment we don't get what I am doing and what other is feeling because of me. So
Mm-hmm.
I do that. Uh, After the moment I I memorize back what I'm doing, write it down and note that where I'm wrong and we can improve that. Yeah, so that is
But
feedback for me.
sometimes feedback will always be inspire and motivate us.
Yeah,
So
yeah, feedback is good.
Tanya is
Yeah,
saying
but
feedback inspires. Go on, Gaurav.
And motivate us
but
as
there are
well
many kind of
sometimes.
people. There are many
Hmm.
kind of people. If you ask suggestions, so they talk and talk and talk. They talk rubbish. it is so annoying for me. If like
Mhm.
Rubbish.
like if
That was
I
a word, huh?
yeah, if I ask Ashima ma'am and Archika ma'am, then I can ask, but for random people I can't ask. Yeah.
Exactly. Archika
Yes,
ma'am.
exactly.
Yeah. So
I
when
guess feedback is something where you are looking for a improvement, what we can
Yes.
improve in it. What already is existing, and we are giving you that. But when you are giving us feedback, so we would like to, improve improvisation,
Improve.
particularly.
Yeah,
hmm,
exactly.
That's why everybody asks for the feedback form is there, and in organizations, in corporate, and even
Organization and
services.
corporate and
And
yes,
services also from your social
absolutely.
media and social in online websites. When you buy something, they ask for feedback, and they are
feedback.
various categories, just to make them help in improvement. What best they can give you, what you are actually looking for. मतलब आप
Yes,
और क्या
exactly.
चाहते हो हमसे, जो हमारे पास है वो तो हमने आपको सर्विस दे दी, बट और ऐसा
Mhm.
क्या चाहते हो, बिकॉज दे वांट टू अपने आप को आपको मार्केट में या पर्सनली फीडबैक कौन मांगता है, डू यू रियली थिंक वी आस्क फॉर?
No.
कितने लोग हैं ऐसे फ्रेंडशिप में या फ्रेंड से किसी से आप ऐसा नॉट फीडबैक बट उनका ओपिनियन आप कहते हो क्या कभी ये ओके?
Again, that is the difference, no, Archika? Approval or feedback में, है ना?
Yes.
There's a lot of difference between approval and feedback, and approval जो
Hmm.
आप कह रहे हो आशिमा, that depends कि आप actually approval किस चीज के लिए मांग रहे हो. अगर approval particular personal चीजों से related है तो वो approval नहीं है, वो एक attitude का हम कहते हैं कि बहुत सारे सब topics में आता है कि conformity होती है, यू नो कि आप किसी के कंफर्म कर रहे हो कि ओके मैं आपके सर्कल में रहना चाह रहा हूँ तो मैं ऐसे ही बनना चाहता हूँ, तो अच्छा ठीक है, ऐसे ही बात कर रहा हूँ ना मैं, तो मैं इस सर्कल में रह पाऊंगा. बट इफ यूर लोग ही
That
कर
means
रहे
that
हो,
you're
सर्टेन
asking for a
क्राइटेरिया है.
feedback.
या
That's a very beautiful way of putting it, Archika. कि अगर आप किसी के पास हो, उसके साथ हो, तो आप उनका एक फीडबैक लेते हो कि भाई, am I doing it right? That's feedback. But if you're constantly trying to get validations for yourself, now let me just take it up what Sia wrote. Sia asked me a question. She said, please explain. And then after she said, thank you, ma'am, for explaining it in simple words. Now, there are different ways in which I can react. One is I'll say, Sia, thank you very much for writing that, and you're welcome, dear, anytime. And I'm happy that you could be, given the explanation. This is one. अब second तरीका क्या है? I am in a self doubt condition, and I say, Sia, oh Sia, is it really? Oh my God, did I really explain it to you? Are you sure, Sia, you understood? Sia, do you think you want any more explanation? You know, that's one. Second, and the third would be, all right, Sia, thank you very much for accepting that you've understood. If there are any further explanations, you're most welcome to come in anytime. We'll be there for you to give you further explanations if needed any. Right? So when I'm asking for a feedback, that means that I'm basically wanting to improve, as Tanya, Archika ma'am, and Gaurav said. But when you're when you're asking for approvals and validations, that means you're not sure. That is the time, ऐसा होता है आप लोगों के साथ कि आपके अंदर घबराहट है, आपको समझ ही नहीं आ रहा आपके साथ क्या हो रहा है, तो आप अपने यार ठीक है ना ये सब, इज इट ओके, आर यू श्योर दिस इज ओके, आर यू श्योर व्हाट आई एम डूइंग इज एब्सोल्युटली ओके, आर यू श्योर, are you sure? Is it okay? This is asking for validation and approval. This is not asking for feedback. Tanya, you're wanting to say something there, and even Harshit.
Ma'am, asking for the approval, especially on the social media, is like uh, become an addiction for the people because they are not confident about their, maybe they have posted something or their picture that they are beautiful. So they only accept that their work is good only after somebody says them that it is beautiful or something.
सो लाइक्स कितने आए उससे डिपेंड करता है.
उससे
अरे
डिपेंड
यार.
करता है.
so that is social media validation, everybody.
Ma'am,
Archika, what do you? Yeah, go on, Gaurav.
I want to ask a silly question.
Go on. Be silly.
Like when I'm sharing my journey, my life, and asking something to you, and this was like validation. I think. What do you think that it was validation or feedback? Like I don't feel I'm
You
asking
are
you
talking,
genuinely
Gaurav.
so that
Gaurav,
I can
there is.
improve.
You're not asking for a
Yeah,
feedback. We are making a conversation here.
yeah.
What you're
So
doing?
it sounded like,
Go
did
on.
it sound like validation?
No. आप ये थोड़ी
Okay.
पूछ रहे थे मैम क्या मैं ठीक कर रहा हूँ मैम इज इट ओके मैम व्हाट आई एम डूइंग आई डोंट नो आई एम नॉट श्योर आप देखो अभी जो वर्ड्स है ना व्हेन आई एम टॉकिंग ऑफ making a conversation when we are here. Let me just go back to my tagline. Hello everybody, we are Iska, Indian Specialized Counselling Academy. Archika and me, we give you a space where you can come have a conversation with us in a space where we give you an open, non judgmental, non critical space, and we understand each other better and help everybody who wants to get some knowledge or some solutions. What am I doing
Yeah,
here?
non-judgmental. You're
हम
telling me that non-judgmental. Like we can share anything,
absolutely.
we can talk anything. Yeah,
और हम जब बात करते हैं ना अब मैंने अपनी स्टोरी बताई थी एक दिन व्हेन आई वाज टॉकिंग
yeah.
अबाउट माय पेरेंट्स
Yes, ma'am.
सो आपको क्या लगता है आई वाज जस्ट मेकिंग अ कॉन्वर्सेशन आई वाज
Yes, ma'am.
डिस्कसिंग व्हाट हैज हैपेंड टू मी एंड हाउ आई ट्राई टू improve myself, how I wanted to change things, and that is what is
Yes, ma'am.
important, right? Making a
Yes, ma'am.
conversation.
Yeah, got it.
So
Thank you, ma'am.
judgmental है क्या नहीं है भाई
नहीं, नहीं,
Archika
नहीं.
wants to say something.
No, I was just trying कि मुझे लगता है कि when you are too much on social media तो एक social media का जो social influence जो होता है वो आपके mind पे बहुत strongly काम कर रहा होता है और जो social influence होता है उसमें कई parts होते हैं कि
Yes,
how
ma'am.
you are making it, you know, conformity एक होता है जहाँ आप confirm करना चाहते हो कि yes you are part, somebody is posting something and then you again post something just कि okay okay मैं भी हूँ, मैं सोशल मीडिया पे अवेलेबल
Yes,
हूँ,
ma'am.
मैं यहाँ पे हूँ, ठीक है, आपने पोस्ट किया तो आई एम ऑल्सो यू नो देयर,
Yes,
आई एम
ma'am.
नॉट लाइक मैं कहीं गया नहीं हूँ, बट जस्ट बिकॉज
Yes,
बट एक्चुअली दैट्स रियल यू, और just that is superficial, just to tell
yes,
the
ma'am.
world. No, I'm asking you,
Yeah, ma'am.
you were
Sometimes,
saying that. So मुझे
yeah.
लगता है कि ये सोशल मीडिया जो सोशल इन्फ्लुएंस है एक्चुअली समवेयर एंड most of the people they are suffering from this problem. They
Yes, ma'am.
are agar
Yes,
if I say कि I'm a social media ghost and which I am actually, so मुझे
yes,
नहीं
ma'am.
लगता मैं कुछ भी मिस कर रही हूँ इस वर्ल्ड में. There are lot of news जो कई बार मुझे आशिमा बताती है और मुझे लगता है अच्छा ये भी हुआ, कब हुआ, हो गया, चलो ठीक है, अब हो गया तो हो
Hmm.
गया. And so इस आशिमा is like अच्छा you don't know, तुम्हें नहीं
Yes,
पता,
ma'am.
and I'm like नहीं पता तो कोई बात नहीं, शायद मेरे काम का नहीं है इसलिए मुझे नहीं पता.
Oh yeah, I'm never in that tone, my dear friend. I'm not even trying to put anybody down. So
No, no,
Archika ने अभी
I am like कि मुझे नहीं पता तो I'm okay with it. If you are telling me
Archika
so,
gave a
it's
tone just now, guys. Very good, Archika. Thank you very much. Archika मैम ने अभी आप लोगों को नज किया कि भाई आशिमा मुझे बोलती है अच्छा तुझे नहीं पता. Oh my God. So when if I were to say like this, Archika would say go. Okay, in the bad way she says you go to hell, man. I don't want to know. I don't want to know, right?
no, no, no. My take would be like कि, it's none of my interest. I'm not interested. It's okay, Asha. Fine. You carry
Exactly.
on.
So if somebody is trying to put you down, you don't have to go put down. So self care के ऊपर फटाफट से आते हैं. Harshid also said the same thing. Social media is trying to take us over, and हमारा challenge ये है कि we have to learn to be detached yet attached. आप detached रहें मगर फिर भी attached रहें और यही करना जरूरी है. This is important, guys. that you should enjoy everything, but enjoyment और चीज में का influence आप पे इतना ज्यादा नहीं हो जाए that you get into a self doubt mode, self critical mode, you get into a mode, oh my god, I'm pathetic and all that stuff. अर्चिका, सबकी अटेंडेंस लें जो लोग नीचे हैं, और anybody wants to say something. Suraj.
Okay, you do it in a better way. You are best in it. Do it.
Okay, Archika, anybody else down there who wants? Nobody wants to say anything? Everybody is listening. Okay. All right. Let me quickly take.
Okay, Ashima, if I say अगर सब लोग अपने आप को थोड़ा सा एनालिसिस करें, अपना अपने साथ थोड़ा सा 5 to 10 minutes दें एंड एक टेबल बनाएं, as I always divide everything just to make it clear. That is my, that is how I do my things. कि एक जगह आप सुपरफिशियल केयर रखना और एक जगह आप सेल्फ रियल केयर रखना एंड जस्ट डू द एनालिसिस ऑफ योर एक्टिविटीज, योर बिहेवियर, योर एटीट्यूड, जो भी आपको याद आता है या जो भी आप करते हैं, अगर उसको दोनों में डिवाइड करना हो तो कितने पॉइंट सुपरफिशियल की साइड जाएंगे और कितने रियल की साइड जाएंगे?
All right, absolutely.
Just for a self assessment, it's a kind of self assessment which anybody and everybody can do.
So let me quickly give the pointers, Archika, on understanding what is the real self-care. Yeah. So guys, when you talk about real self-care, it is not about going shopping when you have I'm sorry, let me just sneeze for a minute. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm so sorry. Excuse me, guys. So coming back to real self-care, when I talk about real self-care, it's not about if I have a problem, I say, oh my God, I'm feeling so stressed, let me go shopping. Instead of doing that, I start to self-reflect. I take a deep breath. I do deep breathing exercises, and I sit down with myself and acknowledge to myself, oh, here is a problem. Very difficult, very easy. Comes with practice. आप सबको ये प्रैक्टिस करना पड़ेगा. आप लोगों को अपने आप से कनेक्ट होना पड़ेगा, और सबसे पहला जो है ना वो ब्रीदिंग ही है, आपका प्राण शक्ति, आपका प्राणायाम. You can connect to yourself, and once you do that breathing, and when you connect to yourself, you self reflect. You will have to identify कि आपको प्रॉब्लम कहाँ आ रही है, कौन सी जगह पे आ रही है, and why that problem is there. Absolutely, Uma Shankar, you have to observe that particular thought. You have to identify where that problem is. Is it because of your own feelings? Is it because of some situation? Is it because of some person? Is it physical? As Archika brought in a lot of beautiful words earlier in the session, that is it emotional? Is it physical? Is it mental? Where is it coming from? Is it external? Is it internal? Is it caused by the environment? Is it caused by a person in the environment? So you'll have to identify what is causing that problem, what is that thought, or what is that thing which is disturbing you. And you'll have to reflect on your core values and beliefs. Is it because of your core value? Is it because of something where you are trying to, idealize a situation? Because of our idealization, a lot of people will say, oh my God, look at that person, look at the way he comes to the office. अब ये मेरा कोर वैल्यू है कि ऑफिस के अंदर आना चाहिए एकदम, you should be in your pants, or you should be, if you're a man, you should be in your pants, and you should be wearing your shirts well, boots polished. But if somebody is coming in a sneakers or in a gym costume, and everybody will be, oh my God, look at him, what is he thinking of himself? So you see, हमारी कोर वैल्यू क्या है? मेरी कोर वैल्यू है कि आप ऑफिस में गए, आपको सूटेड बूटेड होना चाहिए. द मोमेंट माई कोर वैल्यू चेंजेस एंड समबडी इज वेयरिंग एन अटायर विच डजंट गो विद माई कोर वैल्यू, आई विल फील डिस्टर्ब. नाउ हियर इट इज नथिंग टू डू विद मी, दिस इज जस्ट एन एग्जाम्पल, बट देयर कैन बी बिगर थिंग्स. सो you'll have to reflect what is trying to disrupt you, and then you'll have to do mindful assessment of that particular thing. You will have to understand, you'll have to किस लिए हो रहा है, क्या हो रहा है, is it trying to disturb me in some ways, is it something which is really annoying me, and if it is, I have to address it, and if it is not doing anything wrong to me, I have no issues. I can just go on with my life. We'll have to learn to be flexible, guys. This is one thing which we keep missing all the time. We have learned to be attached so much with everything that detachment is difficult. We have learned to be so rigid in our thought process that flexibility somewhere keeps evading us. Uma Shankar, you want to say something?
Yeah, thank you, madam.
Yeah, please go on.
As per my opinion, suppose situations are not always having the same. Somewhere is the situation is according to us, we are comfort there. Somewhere is situation is adverse to us, and it's not mean that suppose the people's with whom someone is criticizing to us. It may be the positive, negative, and we are not always be the right. Sometimes people we are the wrong. Sometimes we are the wrong, and sometimes another person is the wrong. But all these scenario, what are the thoughts are coming in our mind? We cannot control to others. We can't correct to others, but we can control to ours. We can train to our mind, except that we can face the situations, and the outside of the situation could not affect to our beliefs. What are the inside is there, maybe in outside it looks simple, but inside what is our mind is going on, we are very much in the control. We are not getting the disturbed by the persons, but as well as we are observing the things our other person is what is talking about or what is his intention, whether it is the harmless or it is the something that we can learn and we can improve ourselves. But all these things comes in the mind only. In the mouth only the gratitude and the good things only will come, but all this analysis is going on in our mind, in our thoughts.
Right. So Uma Shankar brought in a point of the thought process of others and the thought process of our own selves. And I think that's where the bigger challenge lies. When we get defensive or we are trying to look everything with the same lens, and when we are trying to not accept our own mistakes, and when we have not learned to say no, when we have learned not to say sorry, we have learned not to say thank you and show gratitude. I think that's where a lot of discomfort sets in. What do you think, Archika?
Yeah, I agree with you, Ashima. I think we need to listen more of the points on this to understand it better because every individual is having a different experience and different opinion.
Absolutely, but one thing is for sure, Archika and everybody down there, and if you don't agree to me, please come on platform. Let's have a beautiful conversation. It is an open platform where nobody is judging, nobody is trying to criticize. We are making a conversation. So when we are making a conversation here, the basic thing is always the same. When somebody challenges us, the first thing is we get on to offensive and we are trying to safeguard ourselves. We are not there, because we feel challenged. अगर हमें कोई कुछ भी कहता, if I were to shout on somebody, if I were to say bad words to somebody, what would be the first reaction of that person? That person would also shout back on me and say, acha, why do you think who you are? So we have always learned to be either on the offensive or the defensive. We have not learned to find a way. So that is what, when we talk about the CBT techniques, the cognitive building techniques, that we have to understand our thought process, as Uma Shankar just brought in. It is very important to understand your thought process. And it is very important to make a connection with yourself. Where if you love reading, you should sit down, read. Again, as we were talking about superficial and real, you can't do anything just to nudge yourself away from the real problems or the real situations or the real issues. Because if you're trying to do that, that is the defense mechanism, as Archika brought it. You're retorting to a.
Ashima, here we can add one more point. It's called self-control and self-understanding. And we are talking about self-care. So when emotionally, physically, and intellectually we are sound, Okay, then we can control our emotions, and the reaction will be quite different. As you're saying, if somebody is abusing you, and this bully thing is coming nowadays, it's very much happening around in school, colleges, and everywhere. In fact, when we do workshop, you must remember that a lot of kids come after the workshop and they're like they are kids who is saying this to me and that to me and something like that. So the simple thing is somebody is not having a good self-control and he is not sound emotionally, intellectually. So reaction will be different. But when we are aware of ourselves and we know, imagine somebody is abusing you, okay, somebody, and आप चुपचाप खड़े होके सुन रहे हैं, and after some time you are saying, are you okay? Everything is fine. Are you done? Then imagine कि सामने वाले का reaction क्या होगा.
अर्चिका इज गिविंग शी इज गिविंग एन वेरी आइडियलिस्टिक. आपको कोई गालियां दे रहा है, आप खड़े होके वहां पे सुन रहे हो.
No, it's really it's a बहुत अलग सा
अर्चिका सबसे
impact आता
पूछते
है.
हैं इसका क्या
Yeah.
जवाब है. अर्चिका मैम बोल रही है that if you are at a situation, you're a place somebody is abusing you and you're listening. Uma Shankar wants to say something.
It is depend on who is abusing. I am saying one person have the different type of the quality for the different person. For example, one weak person is abusing to you, you will definitely you are going to set up him. But suppose just you think there is a police officer are there and you did nothing, but police officer is abusing to you. How you are going to stop him? Just you can request, sir, please don't abuse me. I did not. But same is suppose weak person is abusing to you, you will go and you will show your muscle power whatever you are having.
Sir, if somebody like that police officer or some policeman is abusing and उसको आप चुपचाप खड़े होके थोड़ी देर बाद if you are saying कि sir are you okay? If something is wrong with you, कुछ हुआ है क्या गलत? Why you are doing so? You are here to protect us. आपकी ड्यूटी हमें प्रोटेक्ट करना और आप ये कर रहे हैं. Imagine, आप करके देखिए कहीं. I don't want कि आप किसी ऐसे सिचुएशन में फंसे, but फिर भी even your seniors or somebody is आपको स्कोल कर रहे हैं, आपको नीचा दिखा रहे हैं, आपको बता रहे हैं कि you are good for nothing and this and that, and after some time you're like, okay sir, fine. Are you fine, sir? Can I do something for you? I'll correct my mistake and I'll rectify my error, but can I do something for you? Can I help you in some? Just imagine in your, imagine the situation, imagine this conversation and let me know.
I would want to build on this, but before that, let's hear to Gaurav and Yash. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, Yash. Good evening. Good afternoon, rather. Is it your first circle?
Yeah. It's my first circle. I've just joined. I'm just exploring what this app is being about.
All right. So we are just discussing about being your own self, and we are discussing various situations. And everybody, अर्चिका मैम बोलती हैं, आपको कोई गालियां दे रहा है, आप खड़े होके सुनते रहो और उसको बोलो, Are you okay? Is everything okay with you? अभी हमारे पास कोई रिएक्शन नहीं आ रहा, और आज बलदेव भी have invited Baldev 2 to 3 times. He is not come on platform.
Who's Baldev?
Yash, this is a platform where a lot of people have been here for a long time, and Baldev sir is one of the trainers. He trains on community. Yeah, he's a trainer. So, if what brings you here? I mean, what is the purpose of joining Mensa, Yash?
I was just distracted from my studies. ठीक है? So I thought let's join in a group conversation to relieve my mind, to have a chill pill.
Oh, we have a good example here. Yash, what do you do, dear?
I am currently a student in medical college and I am pursuing studies for the higher exams.
Medical college as in, can you be, I mean, you've already completed MBBS?
No. I'm in BSc nursing.
BSc, all right. You are in BSc
But
nursing.
in the topmost college of Lucknow.
Oh, wonderful. So, we do need a lot of male nurses. It is something which is a wonderful thing. So,
but government has imposed reservations for the girls mostly. 80% reservation is for the girls. Flat reservation.
Is that because of the emotion quotient and empathetic nature?
Actually,
I'm just asking. I'm asking.
No, I'm telling because It is changing. It is changing. The ratio has been changing a lot. Usually, it has been like 5 to 95. Now it has been 20 to 80 because male nurses are already less. Okay.
But I'm just asking कि आपका observation क्या है when you are studying it and when you are into this environment industry. So what you are
मेरा
feeling
तो ऑब्जर्वेशन ये कि
कि
देखिए वो थोड़ा जो फीमेल नर्सेज है ना वो थोड़ा फेड अप हो जाती है मतलब थोड़ा इरिटेट हो जाती हैं बहुत जल्दी पर मेल नर्सेज थोड़ा काम रहते हैं थोड़ा बोलते नहीं ज्यादा वो थोड़ा कंपोज रहते हैं
so they are giving answers in their brain and they are not speaking.
हाँ
Is
मतलब
this something
फीमेल नर्सेज
ऐसा
थोड़ा
होता
जल्दी
है?
चिढ़ जाती है मतलब कुछ कुछ बहुत अच्छी होती हैं ऑफ कोर्स मतलब गुस्सा नहीं होती तो पेशेंट भाई फीमेल वैसे उनको लगता है कि भाई उनका कोल्ड हार्टेड रहती है मतलब थोड़ा
This was Ashma, what do you say on this?
Yes, it's really nice chatting to you here, and I hope everybody shares the same opinion. Archika and
I am
Yash were
I am
talking. Yeah.
by the way I am blunt on my opinion what I am I am
Very good. So, Yash, as you talk about that the reservation for the women is more, you may have experiences. Absolutely. Our experiences make us what we become. Now, when you're talking about, women, the by nature, now here comes the
no I
idea.
am a feminist.
No, I am not a feminist.
And
I'm
Okay,
not a
which state
feminist.
is taking the lead in earlier it was Kerala in this field.
No, now
What
our
about
no,
nursing.
all India.
Honest.
no, earlier we
So,
used to see no more most of the Keralites they were in this profession. South from
all
Yeah,
south.
right. I think
the
let's not get
starting
into that.
the
That is.
starting
Let's
of
make
this
a different.
profession was from South India only. Then
Hmm.
the missionaries which came to India, they started that. The Christian
Hmm.
missionaries.
Yash, everybody else, I would want to make a point, build on what Yash said. Yash's opinion is that female nurses, they get, this thing fast. They can retort, they can just quickly say something, they get irritated and all that stuff. Whereas in his opinion, male nurses don't. On the contrary,
Mostly
when you talk.
what I have seen on my basis, what I have observed, I am saying this
Mhm.
that.
Absolutely, Yash. Yash, this is a platform where we are not judging, we are just making a conversation. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
building
okay.
on what you're saying because
Yes.
in psychology there is something called nature or nurture. The debate goes on. By nature, women are supposed to be more patient because to bear a child, to carry a child for 9 months in the womb is not easy, right? So when you talk, by nature, maa
For
ko
that thing, I
mamta.
salute them. For that thing, I salute them. But the job of nursing is very hectic. So, female has fluctuations in their hormones. As you are female, you know that.
Absolutely.
So, because of those fluctuations, they get irritated easily. Not
Hmm.
all the time, but mostly. When they are
Hmm.
not in the mood, they get irritated. But
Hmm.
males can easily control that. Okay,
Hmm.
that is an advantage.
You know why males do it that way? Everybody down there or everybody who has joined us, do you know why males don't easily, give reactions in such situations than females? Any ideas?
Because males are, I think, ignorant. Males are ignorant. Like we don't. If anything
Okay.
is happening in front of me, like I ignore the things. If yeah,
No, ignorant. You said ignorant. Gaurav, you said ignorant.
yes, ma'am. Yes,
Hmm.
let it go. Not ignorant. Ignorant is the correct word. If someone is abusing me, let it go. Actually, uh, okay, ma'am. Let it go.
No, no. What you're saying is making sense. I know what you're saying. Let's build on that and let's hear to Uma Shankar first. Anybody down there? Do you
Okay,
want to say something? My
okay, ma'am.
God. Yeah, go on, Uma Shankar. Yes.
Yeah, madam, I have my opinion about the remark given by the yes that female nurse become the irritates quickly compared to the male. So I have the different opinion in this one that female nurse may be the irritate what the yes has been observed that because of the some mismanagement or something other different than the jobs of the nurse. The nurse jobs is they are handling female are handling very well, but other than of that one some kind of the behavior are not good, management is not good, environment is not good. So in that case it may be the irritation they may have,
Yes, do you want to build on
but
that?
not due to the nurse professional.
Hmm.
If you are taking the some kind of a different work for that purpose she has not joined, and you are taking the some extra work which is not comes under the nurse profiles, so they may irritate.
Okay, Ashima,
I
if
would
we
say
want to connect this,
they.
Yeah,
yeah,
yes, go
yes.
I
on.
would say that my personal vision is that it's not all the times, just for a few minutes or sometimes. It's not like all day they are like that. Just for a few moments only, not all times. I'm just clearing that.
No, no, that's fine. It's really good, and one must share his or her opinion. So we should have this opportunity, and we should have this privilege.
I would
Like,
like to just quickly build on what Uma Shankar and Yash said, Archika, then I'll hand it over to you. Is that men, they, like, and Gaurav also, Gaurav, I'll bring in your point also. Gaurav said, men have the tendency of let it go. Chal jaane dena yaar. And, men, they have that, they are not thinking of 10 different things at the same time. Why women lose it most of the time, or many a times, to correct my words, is that they have a lot going on their heads. They are managing so many. That is why when you look at Durga, she has 8 hands, right? Yes, you want to say something?
I want to say that when a male do a work, he do only one work. When a female do work,
Ah,
they are managing multiple persons. देखो जैसे
ah.
फैमिली संभालनी होती है, देखो फीमेल्स को ही, मेल्स तो भाई खुले रहते हैं, सीधा सीधा बोल रहा हूँ, मोस्टली यही मैंने देखा है.
No, but that is what is changing, Yash. The men
So
of
is
today.
it is applicable for everywhere, then not only in the nurse professional, it is the for everywhere then. So we want to say that everywhere where are the females are working, they are the multitasking, they are having the some additional responsibilities of the like family, so they are not able to focus on their prime work. No, I am not. I am totally disagree about this point. They are
Disagree
handling
with
their
what?
work. They
Uma
are
Shankar,
handling their work.
Uma Shankar, disagree with what, dear?
That this statement that since women are having so many work responsibility of the families, so they may not be able to perform or handling this one, and they get irritated,
No, no, no,
and
no. Nobody said that they can't perform well. The
they get
only
irritated.
idea, hmm?
They get irritated because they are
They
handling the
do,
some
they do.
additional responsibilities.
अच्छा पता है क्या यही तो खूबी है लेडीज की आई थिंक फ्रॉम सेल्फ केयर वी हैव गॉन ऑन टू मेकिंग इट अ मैन एंड वुमेन डिबेट वी जस्ट हैव 1.5 minute I'll just speak for a few seconds then give it to Archika to finish guys फीमेल वेंट इट आउट और वो इतना कुछ वेंट आउट कर लेती हैं और वो झल्लाने के बाद भी सब कर जाती हैं दे कैन मल्टीटास्क दे हैव आई थिंक नाउ अगेन द क्वेश्चन बाय नेचर दे आर लाइक दैट वो क्रिप करेंगी मगर फिर भी एंड तक परफेक्शन तक सब काम करेंगी बट एज यश सेड men by nature but now probably things are evolving men are becoming more patient as he's saying that 20% of the seats are for the men now in nursing also so now cognitively men are changing themselves they may not be still able to multitask as women but they are they have that if they are doing something they'll continuously keep doing it. Archika, I would want you to quickly wrap up the whole session for today.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
I want to say sorry. I was not
No,
aware
Gaurav.
about the male-female nurse. That thing I was telling the answer of Archika ma'am's, like when anyone abusing you, what can you do?
हाँ man
it's okay,
चल
it's okay.
जाने no Gaurav you were absolutely right. Archika, take on.
That's fine. I'll share my opinion tomorrow
कैसे
with
हटता है?
all
15 सेकंड का टाइमर
proofs.
बचा है, कोई एक्सटेंड कर सकता है कि इसको कैसे करना है?
It's okay, it's okay.
You
See
will
you
have to
all
join
tomorrow.
back
Thank you
tomorrow.
so
Yash,
much.
please join tomorrow. Thank you very much, all of you. Take care. God bless you all.